You're awake! Good. It's been a while since I've worked any magic that didn't involve sleight of hand. Anise is still soundly asleep. Could you not get through to her in the dream? So, she stepped right into the story that's inspired her since she was little. That explains the ritual with that book. How better to keep her under the spell than to put her in a prison she wouldn't want to escape? Insidious. You're telling me this crest didn't take her place? They traded for it? And not just her, but everyone here. What does Cress have to gain from these bargains? To infiltrate the town? What could a sleepy village offer someone who can create dreams? The deal they made isn't so harmless as they might have believed. You've seen how frightened the villagers are. How many more need to vanish before Cress has whatever it is they want? They won't like it, but we should wake them and end this farce. Here we go. Pray that a rude awakening is the worst they have to suffer. It's ready. Wake Anise, and the curse will break.
Farewell, Captain.
He promised!
My gold!
My sweet Rose!
All right, so we're awake. Dreams shattered. A life of brooms and boredom ahead. Happy now? Cress is different. They looked like Bugtail when they approached me, but his clothes were covered in ink and he seemed unwell. They confessed that they weren't who they appeared to be, but they needed my help. Cress didn't look suspicious to me, just sad, vulnerable. They said they screwed up again, that they couldn't be who they were trying to be. Cress knew I didn't want to stay in Farmer's Nook, so they offered to take my place. I think they were running away too, from a life they didn't want to go back to. You know how many times I tried to do that? But I could never just leave my mom behind, alone. I thought we'd all be happy this way.
She would not.
Mother? I'm sorry.
If you wanted to be rid of me so bad, you could have sent a fake who did her chores.
Much as I love a happy ending, we haven't quite reached the conclusion just yet. You should speak to Anice's mother about the imposter. We mustn't let Cress escape. It could be that the two spells were mingling. That's not something seen often. Or perhaps it's simply that this Cress person was also inspired by Anice's dream. Why indeed? It's easy to guess what motivated these people to pursue their wildest dreams. But the workings of this Cress's mind are inscrutable. What would you do if you were them? Would you leap at the chance to live a perfect fantasy? Indeed. We've all had to make choices about what we're willing to risk to attain our desires. Cress's bargain promises perfection without the sacrifice. Who wouldn't be tempted? Is a life without need or want truly fulfilling? I can't say. They have a look about them, one I've seen before. It's the look of a skooma addict, sick and desperate on the street, lost without their escape. With the help and support of those who love them, one can hope. Ultimately, it will be up to each of them to decide what's most important to them.
Oh, thank you for finding my girl. I'd never imagined she'd have gone to such lengths to get away from here. I should have listened sooner. I followed you. I was glad to see Annie's back in town. But I knew deep down that wasn't my girl, and watching her act the part made the worry in my gut so much worse. I had to see for myself. Back at the Happy Crow, I told Brayden he could put whatever she liked on my tab if it kept her occupied. If you wish to find the freeloader, that's where she'll be.
We will trust Mile to see these people safely back to town. You and I should find Cress at once.
So delicious, so moist, and rich and warm. So much frosting. This one can just barely still taste them. The sweet rolls. The most delicious, moist, warm, fragrant sweet rolls to ever leave a baker's oven. Bugtail ate them often. Bugtail had them all. Yes! What else would one dream about? Have you never known the ecstasy of sweet moon sugar cream melting upon your tongue? This one has not tasted true sugar since he left elsewhere. He has missed it so. So he could, if he were satisfied with iced rolls grown stale from weeks on the road. But when one offers the chance to have them at their freshest and most perfect, always and forever, why would Bugtail not take such a bargain?
How could you do this? How could you wake me? Cress said I would live in that dream forever. It was a damned sight better than this. I had a castle, servants, suitors hanging off my every word. I had everything I ever wanted. You don't know what it's like for us, growing up. We had nothing. We still have nothing. Hasef? Hasef seems happy with his plow and his pigs. He's a grown man, and more capable than I am at fending for himself. He doesn't need me anymore. And Cress was supposed to keep him company. We barely speak anymore as it is. Dead? Oh, Hasef, I never wanted that. I suppose I need to talk to him, like we used to. He deserves that much.
Where are we? Some kind of tomb? Where's my treasure? Last I remember, I was in my treasure room. Wait, so this is real? The dream is gone? My treasure's gone? Why would you do that? Why would he think I'm dead? That's not what Cress promised. He said he'd just be me. He even agreed to do my chores. Was that all a bunch of hogwash? Heck of a way to go. Wait, is Cress dead then? Damn it. I guess there's no hope making another deal.
Hey, you! Have you seen Anise? Have you seen Anise? She ran off. I knew I shouldn't have let Hesef watch her alone. Mile asked me to keep the girl occupied, so I kept her mug full and listened to her go on about her pirate stories. I was getting famished, so I asked Hesef to watch her while I made a stew. That was the last I saw her, until I heard Hesef calling. They were playing cards when she just bolted out of her chair like a snake bit her and ran out the door. He chased her, but Hesef's not much of a runner. Said Anise was headed east, out of town. Miles going to have my hide for this. Hold on, real Anise? Who was it we've been watching this whole time?
I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. You're the one I don't know. Why are you here? I didn't run away again, I promise. Excuse me? You don't even know me. I am Anise. I can prove it. Ask me anything. I'm her twin sister. I can't be Anise anymore, I know. Maybe I could be someone else. What about you? Can I be you?
Enough of this charade, Cress. Off with your false face.
What are you? Ah!
You're a Daedra?
Wait! Don't hurt me. I didn't do anything. I just gave them what they wanted. I just want to live, like you. I'm so tired of watching. I don't want to go back. Don't make me go back. To the unbound library of the one who knows. To record what was observed. That is our purpose. To watch your lives and ink the details down. Day in, day out. Always the same. They know it too. The people here. That's why I offered an escape. I kept getting it wrong. Being a person. Despite all I knew, I kept making mistakes. Bad, painful mistakes I couldn't undo. So I had to try again. And again. Life is hard, but that makes it interesting. Please, let me stay. Don't send me back. Yes, please. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. I won't cause any more trouble. This is where the one who knows sent me. It is what I know. I thought I could live here and no one would treat me any differently. I could finally experience all the things I'd only observed. Friendship, love, family, Mead. Mead was good. To know, as they must. Your tiny pupil suggests that is insufficient. The one who knows seeks all knowledge. We observe so that all becomes known. We are the one's eyes, and we are multitudes. Alone, I suppose I am. I had not considered that. I will no longer be a part of the one, but something separate. It's unsettling, but also exciting. The one who knows watches most. The one seeks not to change, but to observe. If the one sees me here, they will know what was once unknown. I would return to Apocrypha and resume the catalog of all things until I've exhausted my knowledge, and the one who knows casts me into the world to observe again. That would not be, in mortal terms, for a very long time. Well, I don't know what I'll do without a mortal form, but I'll think of something. I need a mortal pack to do anything more than create an illusion. I traded dreams because they are the neighbor of knowledge and within my reach. I don't have much else to offer a mortal in exchange. Correct. The terms are not important, only the bargain matters. If I find someone willing to form a less troublesome pact, then maybe I could stay.
So, this pitiable creature wants to escape its lot in life, too. Even Daedra dare to dream. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't feel some sympathy for its plight. When a hopeful becomes a player in the House of Reveries, they cast off their old identity and assume their new role completely. Such a serious commitment attracts only those who most desire an escape from their prior circumstances. I'm no different. Misguided as Cress was, I don't believe they acted in malice. There aren't many stories of compassionate Daedra, but it seems at least some of them might be true. The question is, does this little Daedra's story have to end in tragedy? It may fly in the face of common sense, but I think Cress might have the makings of a fine player. They're a bit unrefined, but taking on a new role seems to come naturally, and they'll never forget their lines. I could sponsor them to the house.
Please don't send me back. I promise.
Has speaking with Cress convinced you? I thought so, and my eye for talent is one of the best among the players. By the time Cress presents themselves before the Grand Maestro, I will have transformed them into a master thespian. I'll stake my reputation on it. All's well that ends well, as they say. This certainly wasn't the direction I expected this story to take, but a good mystery always keeps you guessing. You were a grand co-star. If we ever adapt Investigate a Veil for the stage, I'll be sure to call. All right, Cress. I have a deal for you.
You do? Does this mean I can stay?
No, not in Farmer's Nook, anyway.
Oh. Does it mean I don't have to go back to the library?
Yes, and you will get to live a great many incredible lives.
I can? What do you need me to do?
Watch and learn. You're going to be my apprentice. Now, let's get you a mask. Now, if you're going to be a proper hopeful, I'm going to need you to take a form similar to one of my players. Can you do that?
Oh, yes! With your help, that will be easy! How is this?
You'll have no difficulty with brisk scene changes, certainly. Now, for a name that speaks to your soul, what about Dreamer?
Dreamer. I like that very much.
Look, I've got just as much right to stand here as anyone else. If those scantily clad Debellites want me to leave, you tell them to come out here and say it to my face. You're not one of their sanctified bullies? That's a relief. Call me Ferric. I came to Gideon to clear my family's name, but the loose-robed fanatics in the Dibalacium want to run me off. Started with dirty looks. Now I'm getting threats. They think my Grana Cerise murdered their high priest decades ago. It's not true, and I mean to set the record straight. Might take a little snooping around, but the evidence is here. I know it. Want to lend a hand? Don't have much, but I can pay. Thanks for the help. Not easy for Gemains to make friends around here. The Dibellites use that manse in the center of town as their Dibalacium. Sort of a consecrated love nest. There's proof of Grana's innocence in Gideon, we'll find it there. Like I said, the victim was one of the Dibellites' high priests. A woman named Rolaine. My Grana Cerise was Rolaine's flower bearer. Followed her everywhere she went. When a heap of treasure went missing and Rolaine vanished, Grana was the prime suspect. No one could prove it, of course, since they never found her. Like wood smoke in a windstorm, and without breathing a word to my Grandpa Lier. Way Grandpa tells it, neither of them would so much as visit the Lou without telling the other where they were headed. But the locals wouldn't listen. These damned zealots rallied half the city, gathered up torches and shovels and ran him and my father out of town with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Even outside of Gideon, the rumors followed him. We haven't had a moment's peace since. So, this is the Dibalacium. Just what I expected. Thanks for the help. Not easy. So, this is the Dibelosium. Just what I expected. Look at this place. These Dibellites fancy themselves free-spirited bards blown by the wind. They've got enough gold to make Zenithar blush. Doesn't matter. This is where we'll find our answers. I don't know yet. I just know we have to look. Take this. It's a rare bit of magic called a memory stone. Grana Cerise gave it to Grandpa Lier the night before she supposedly murdered Priestess Rolain and fled. Maybe it'll show us something. I'm a carpenter, not a mage. But according to this dark elf I showed it to, the mushroom wizards up in Morrowind use them to store their memories. The catch is, you have to stand where the memories occurred to wake up the magic in the stone. Aye, that's the hope. I know we face long odds on this. Magic stones and lost memories sound like storybook nonsense, but it's really all I've got to go on. How about we start our search on the ground floor? Like I said, the victim was one of the Dibellites' high priests, a woman named Rolain. This was 60 years ago, mind, but my grandfather tells me the locals worshipped the ground she walked on, thought she was a prophet, or something near to it. Aye, my Grana Cerise was Rolain's flower bearer. Followed her everywhere she went. When a heap of treasure went missing and Rolain vanished, Grana was the prime suspect. No one could prove it. Like wood smoke in a windstorm. And without breathing a word, these damned zealots rallied half the city. Gathered up torches. Look, the stone flashed. Did you see it? Something's happening. Is that... It's a memory! Who is that? Horus Mercy! By the eight, what was that? A murder? Someone recorded a murder in that stone? Why would anyone do that? Wait, could this be related to the disappearances Grandpa Lier told me about? Aye. Way Grandpa Lier tells it, in the weeks before Rolain vanished, a handful of novitiates went missing. None of them were popular enough to raise an outcry. People said they must have just left, trying to get out from under Rolain's shadow. Grana Cerise helped all the novitiates, cleaning linens, tending to flowers, arranging sheet music. She knew everyone. These people probably would have pinned the disappearances on her too. But the story took a dark turn after Rolain's murder. The Dibellites decided it must have been a conspiracy. The missing novitiates were all in on the plot. Well, now we see the truth of it. Can't be sure, but whoever murdered those novitiates might have murdered Rolain too. We should keep investigating. Another flash. Try the stone now. Not another one. It preserved me. It's so real. It's our killer again. What's he doing? Gods, what is that? Magic? Did you see those gestures? Can you repeat them? Mara's mercy! Skeletons! Are those the murdered novitiates? I think I might... Come on, Ferry. Keep it together. Find anything? What have you got there? A letter? Here, let me have a look at it. Oh, and can I have my stone back? I think I've had my fill of grisly memories for now. Clara, Ariel, Edgard. Yes, these were the novitiates. This should bring their families some closure, at least. It wasn't enough that the murderer killed the novitiates. She had to steal their souls, too? How would someone even do that? Huh. I've heard of soul gems before, but not black soul gems. I thought mages just used them on rabbits and goblins and such. These black ones can suck up the souls of men and mer? It preserve us. The ledger said the killer traded them, right? Never heard of them. But then again, honest carpenters like me don't do much business with soul-stealing wizards. It's all academic anyway. There's no way of knowing if the trade even took place. Unless that map you found contains a clue. I never told you how Priestess Rolain died, did I? She left to visit Leowyn in her carriage, along with her flower-bearer Cerise, my grandmother. They never arrived. Maybe this map shows where they went. Let's see where it leads, eh? Grandpa said there'd been talk about how Grana Cerise and the other junior priestesses of Dibella were greedy. When news came that Priestess Rolain had been murdered, none questioned they'd killed her. Instead, they burned Grandpa Lierre's home. I don't see how it could be anything else. Sadly, I imagine the angry people who burned down our home and chased Grandpa Lierre away are dead now, so they're beyond justice. Yet we can still clear my grandmother's name. We must, for Grandpa Lierre. You're asking me? I figured you'd know. Whoever they are, I guess they like souls? The ledger said that the killer was bringing black soul gems to trade for a reward of some sort. Maybe they're part of the Waking Flame cult the killer mentioned? I wouldn't expect you to know about them. How many local cults are you familiar with? You seem so calm about all of this. So, these Waking Flame folks are still around? If our killer was one of them, that means they've been in Gideon for decades. By the 8, I hope not. I can't imagine how horrifying it would be to die, but not die. To be trapped forever in one of those black soul gems. Just thinking about it makes me feel like I want to vomit. I'm so glad I have you to protect me.
saved King Emmerich, didn't you? I can't wait to tell my friend we met.
There in the water. Could that be it? See what you can find. I'm afraid to ask, but I've got to. What did you find? Let me see. Yes! I've seen that seal too many times. See the flowers encircling the face? It's a symbol of Dibella. This is a High Priestess's signet ring. It can't be a coincidence. That skeleton is Priestess Rolain. We found her. So Priestess Rolain was transporting those? Why? Did Grana Cerise know about it? They left town together and vanished together. My grandmother's skeleton isn't here, so... By the Eight, could Priestess Rolain be the killer? Do you think... No, it couldn't have been Grana. She wasn't in Gideon when the novitiates were killed. The priestess had access to the treasury, had the ear of the people. It all makes sense, except how she died. We just... Wait. Look there! You should say hello, right? I'm right behind you. It's Grana Cerise, isn't it? She's been here in this cave all this time. Sorry for keeping you waiting. I'm sure uncovering murderous cults and meeting your grandmother's ghost is run-of-the-mill fodder for you. But for me, this is a bit much to take. I guess there was something to those dreams after all. I know. I should have told you from the start, but I didn't want to scare you off, thinking I was crazy or something. It started a month or so ago. A ghostly young woman rouses me from my bed every night and stares at me. Like she wants something. I know it is. She just stared us both in the face and guided us to her remains, right? But what now? She put an end to Rolane's plot, but no one will believe me. The Germains will keep getting stepped on. They'll say I faked the whole thing. That might actually work. Keshu the Black Fin and her Argonians couldn't give two croaks about Dibella and her flock. Keshu's war mage, Fire from Nowhere, knows local history. He might just listen. Grana Cerise gave us the proof. Let's use it.
No sign? Good. Son's greetings, Biko. Your friend's eyes seem gray with worry. What troubles you both? Rolane. Ah, yes, the prophet woman these smooth skins mourn. She's been dead for a very long time, but still they cry. It is very strange. But that is the Imperial way, I guess. What did you discover? Something to quiet their hearts, I hope. Well then, that is not what I expected you to say. If this is true, there will be a great wailing in the Dibalacium. Disbelief also. They curse the woman Cerise Germain, and all who hatch from her clutch. Your proof must be hard as stone. I can tell you speak the truth. In the name of Keshu, I claim the Breton Ferric Germain as my charge. I place my hand upon the Hist and swear no harm will befall him here, and the truth of this will come to light no matter how grim.
Thank the Eight for fire from nowhere, and for you. I never could have accomplished this without your help. I can't believe it's over. These zealots will finally know the truth. I guess I'll stay in Gideon until we put this matter to rest for good. I want to see these people's faces when they come to terms with what really happened. Then, it's back to Bravo in my woodshop. Sooner the better. Thanks, hero, for everything. If I didn't trust Keshu and her Argonians to protect me, I'd flee right now. I'm sure there are plenty of people in Gideon who will want me dead for what I know. But I'm staying. Grana Cerise was a hero, and I won't let her down. Relieved? Honestly, I started all this to get the people of Cyrodiil off my family's back, and to get a full night's sleep. Not exactly selfish, but not a righteous crusade either, you know? But now that I know what Grana went through... Aye, and sadder. But we sorted it right. Spirits at rest, remains recovered, souls returned. I hope. This is as happy an ending as we could hope for, given the circumstances. Just makes me damn glad I'm a carpenter and not a full-time adventurer.
Right. So if that's north, that means... Wait, that's not right! Oh, more was mercy! A little help, anyone? Are you from around here? Sorry, I'm not familiar with Gideon and... Wait, are you here because of my flyers? Thank Ruptka. Call me Yasara. I'm here on a thrilling, inspirational journey, and I could really use a sturdy companion. I'm an author. Aspiring, really. I've penned a few romance novels, but they all lack, what's the word? Authenticity, yes. So, I resolved to get out into the world and find my muse. Now, here's the exciting part. I found it in Castle Giaves. Yes, well, not exactly. A tragic affair played out there years ago, and love-struck spirits still haunt the castle. I acquired a magic lantern that allows me to speak to the ghosts. But you know, ghosts. I need you to ward off the angrier spirits. Thank you for agreeing to accompany me. With your help, my next romance novel will be a masterpiece. Here, take the lantern. Now, fair warning, I've never actually used it, but I heard a ghostly woman wanders the city gardens. We can test it there. Go on and try out the lantern.
Who intrudes upon my grief? Gioves is lost. My son is lost. All that remains is sorrow. You can see me? It matters little. The miseries of Castle Gioves bind me here, bind all of us here. We are cursed. Our gardens wither, our once great walls crumble, and my gentle son feels nothing but heartache. I am Duchess Estella of Castle Gioves. As for the curse, it is the work of a vile trollop named Alizinda. Arcay scorn her soul. My darling boy, Mathen was infatuated with her. And how did she repay his affection? By murdering him in cold blood. I cannot bear to speak of it anymore. My poor Mathen. I sense his presence sometimes. He's bound to the place where he died. An old cottage northeast of Gioves. A place where he and Alizinda twisted. Help him. Help my son. Succeed where his mother failed.
It worked! I told you it would work! Tall Papa's breeches, what a tale! A ghostly duchess, lusty young nobles, betrayal and murder. This story's got it all. Whew. Is it getting hot out here, or is it just me? Yes, tied to a cottage nearby. I can almost picture it. Rustic, secluded, tossel quilts, embers smoldering on the hearth. Gives me the prickles. Almost makes you forget someone likely died there. Something she said does trouble me a bit. The Duchess said the lover's name was Alizinda. That was my great-great-grandmother's name. It can't be a coincidence, can it? She lived in Gideon for a time before moving back to Alakir. Do you think my ancestor murdered Mathen? This is the cottage the Duchess mentioned, I think. Not all that romantic, is it? Let's look around. Nothing but creaky floorboards and old weeds for me. I knew I should have brought my spectacles. What did you find? May I? Her anguish just jumps off the page, doesn't it? So, Mathen intended to marry someone else and Alazinda killed him in a fit of passion. Can you imagine loving someone so deeply that you end up murdering them? Gods, that's romantic. Sort of. It's a ring of Mara, the sort of ring used in a pledge of marriage. Mathen might have intended to give it to this mysterious fiancé or... I'll hang on to the ring. Let's use the lantern. Maybe Mathen can shed some light on this.
Who's there? Alazinda, my love. Is it you?
So this is Mathen? Gracious. Grandmother Alazinda clearly knew how to pick them.
This light. It offers some respite from my sorrows. You have my thanks. I am Mathen Galenus, heir to the Duchy of Gioves. What brings you to this place? Curse? Is heartache not curse enough? My great love, Alazinda, poisoned me on the very night I meant to propose to her. Someone deceived her. Told her I meant to marry another. She killed me, yes. But it was an act of jealous grief, not witchcraft. I do not know. I've learned that certain objects hold a grip on the soul. Things we treasured in life. In my darkest moments, I sometimes feel drawn to the chapel where they laid my body to rest. I see harsh light glinting off my golden armor. Maybe. These long, gray years make it difficult to think. Seek out the chapel. You will find it to the west, amidst the ruins of the castle. If my armor keeps me in this sorry state, I beg you to find it. Without love, there is nothing for me here. My lady, forgive my impertinence, but you are the very image of my lost love, Alazinda. How could this be?
Oh my goodness. I believe I'm her descendant, brave Sir Duke, Baron, whatever. My name's Ysara, by the way. What were we talking about again?
You share her spirit, Lady Ysara. At last, fate grants me a kindness.
We must help him. That poor soul.
I won't ever abandon my...
What's that you've got there? Not a golden helm by any chance? A magical incantation. The handwriting is different from Alizinda's journal. That means she can't be responsible for the curse. I knew my ancestor wasn't a sorceress. A murderer, maybe, but not a sorceress. Of course, this all begs the question. Yes, and more importantly, why? The person who cast the spell clearly had an axe to grind. Maybe it was a court wizard or some jilted witch. My novel's less romance and mystery at this point. Let's use the lantern again. Maybe the culprit's here.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you caring for my boy? Did you find my dear Mappin? Can't I trust you to locate a simple cottage? How is that possible? It had to be Alizinda. When Mappin died, the Duchy's light died with him. That Redguard wench cast us into darkness. If I could just have brought him back, I could have... Yes, Harkay, forgive me. I wept over his body in this very chapel for 3 days without sleep or nourishment. My grief was ocean deep. He was my only boy. So I cast a simple spell. I tried to draw him back with promises of glory. I failed. I cast the spell over his armor and sword, but it went awry. I wrote everything down. You can find my notes in my private study beneath the eastern wall. If you find his helm, breastplate, and shield too, you might be able to set things right.
Necromancy? How could she?
You! Oh, I see you well enough, Redguard. You think I don't notice the family resemblance? You stay away from my boy!
Tava's feathers. Bit touchy, isn't she? Let's make our way to this private study. Carefully. His own mother toying with dark magic in this very room. What a plot twist! You found Duchess Estella's notes that quickly? Thank Rooped Guy can rely on your eyes. Can barely see a thing in this place. What do they say? Really? Oh, I think I spotted some on the way across the castle grounds. I knew that herbalism workshop would come in handy someday. If we do manage to find the armor, be careful pulling it out of the tangle. Heartsbane's quite deadly. I saw a clump of Heartsbane on the way here. Come on! This way, I think. There! That's Heartsbane, right? You found his helm? We're off to a great start. Sorry. I feel like we've assembled most of the clues to this mystery, but I just can't shake the feeling that we're missing something here. Well, Duchess Estella got them into the situation, right? She cast the ugly spell that cursed poor Mathin, and now we're gathering up the items she used to make this mistake in the first place? It can't be that simple. What are we missing? Maybe not. She wasn't a professional necromancer. Maybe she missed something too. Remember what Mathin told us? Certain objects take hold of the soul. If that's the case, isn't it odd that we found him in the cottage instead of the chapel? Only one way to find out. Let's use the lantern again. I'm still carrying the ring. If he followed us here, maybe we're onto something. Before you light the lantern,
Lady Isara, I had not expected to see you again. Why do you summon me? Where are we? It's been so long since I walked the grounds of the castle. I scarcely recognize it. Whatever the place, it is good to speak to someone again, and to see the fair image of my lost love. Spell? Some ill-conceived plot to resurrect me, I presume. Mother never could suppress her passion for the occult. Now we both pay the price. But even so, I feel something else now. Some other force that nags at my soul. Something fairer, softer. My Ring of Mara? I had not thought to see it again. I see it clearly now, though. At rest near the heart of the fair Lady Ysara. The course is clear, friend. Gather my armor and rid me of the curse. In the meantime, I will bask in Ysara's glow. Lady Ysara, you bear not only Alizinda's ring, but her spirit as well. Had I a heart, it would pound like a drum at the sight of you.
Thank you, Mathin. I'm sorry for what happened to you. My friend and I will fix it, I promise.
Having you beside me is all I need. Come, let me sweep you away. Find my armor and break the curse. Your friend will be safe with me in the meantime.
Oh my! What just happened? Mathin, what did you do?
Why?
Move!
You summon me again? Did you find the armor? Where is your lecherous friend? Just like her ancestor, ensnaring her betters, meddling in family affairs. Huh. Mathin should be thanking me for sparing him the pain. Mathin truly meant to marry Alizinda. A woman with no pedigree, no means, and no great talent. She was a no-one. I couldn't bear the idea of him throwing his future, and that of our duchy, away over some childish romance. So I spread a rumor. I only meant to split them apart. It was for his own good. Typical of low-bred paupers, she overreacted. Mathin died by her hand, not mine. None of this matters. What matters is breaking the curse. I need one last object. The Sword of Gioves. It is in the mausoleum, beneath the Great Bridge, guarded by Calvis Vannon, 1st Duke of Gioves. Retrieve the sword and bring everything you found to Tavia's tower. If all goes as it should, we can reverse the spell, and set both of us free. I don't want that woman lingering near my son any more than you do. Find the sword and bring it to the tower. Mathen, my darling boy. We can finally end this curse.
And now I part with the Lady Ysara as well? Is there nothing you won't take from me?
Place the regalia, adventurer. It is well past time we left.
Farewell, dear lady. I wish we had more time.
Mathen! Why aren't you... Mathen!
I'm still here?
My poor Mathen. What went wrong?
I am sorry for absconding with dear Lady Ysara. I found myself conflicted, torn between two intentions. One in the cursed armor, and another in the Ring of Mara. You sundered Mother's curse, but it seems my soul remains tied to the ring. Trapped, perhaps. The foul burden of necromancy no longer weighs me down, but my connection to the ring is no less intense. It's passionate, fiery. It's like all my unfulfilled dreams and desires remain bound to that band. And to Lady Ysara. Perhaps, part of me still yearns for the warmth of Aetherius. But now, as I behold the beautiful Lady Ysara, I'm given pause. She is so like my beloved Alizinda, with a heart as warm as the sands she walked as a child. I must speak with her. Lady Ysara, light of my afterlife. That ring you carry is the key to my heart. I leave my fate in your hands.
My hands? Mathen, what are you saying?
If you choose to wear the ring, I will remain by your side. An attentive and loving guardian.
Are you serious? Tall Papa, preserve me.
Destroy the ring, and I will pass to Aetherius. The choice, my lady, is yours.
Did I just get a proposal from a ghost? Up until now, the only man who ever wooed me was a stable hand in Bergama. I know I should recoil at this. It's profane, blasphemous, right? But gods, he's cute, and the way he speaks, it's like a dream. Ugh! How could he lay something like this at my feet? I can barely decide which boots to wear most days. When he swept me away, he told me his heart was torn to pieces. He said I was the only balm. He said I was his second chance. I don't know. Aside from the whole ghostly murder victim thing, this is what my heart always yearned for. It's why I write romance novels. The thought that I could bring him love and joy is intoxicating. Still, he deserves peace and rest, right? Yes, I want to write and travel and feel the rush of romance every time I slip on this ring. Mathen and I have so much to offer one another. It will be a little weird, yes, but like I said before, who wants normal romance? Certainly not me. I want you to stay with me, Mathen. I know it's weird, but...
Weird? No, my lady. Unique. Unique and perfect.